welcome to Irene Yoga Flow. In today's Yin Yoga practice, we are going to be working on opening up our hips. So if you need any support for any knee sensitivities or low back injuries, I would suggest having a blanket with you just in case, as well as your bolster and 2 blocks if you have them. We're gonna go ahead and start right now warming up our spine with a few rounds of cat-cow. So come find me in a tabletop position. You can tuck the toes if you'd like. As you inhale, let the belly fall soft towards the earth, gaze up. And exhale, push away from the ground with your palms as you round your spine, tailbone down, looking at the belly. Inhale, gazing up, tailbone up. And exhale, letting the head fall forward and rounding in. And inhale again, moving through this soft spinal opening, warming exercise. At your own pace here, just making sure to synchronize each movement with your breath, just to kind of warm up. The last few, and your last one. Come meet me sitting back on your heels, and then walk back out into your tabletop. You can keep the toes tucked, and then begin to place the left forearm and then the right forearm on the floor. We're coming into melting heart, so if you can, slide the hands forward a few inches until you feel that chest land on the mat, until your chin is on the ground. Just readjusting with my hair. And if you're finding that you need a little bit of support, you can always grab your bolster, your blanket rolled up, and place it over the chin and the chest. So whatever you need today, and you can always do a combination of both, so play it out with the pillow first and then come down onto the mat. If you have your toes tucked, you can untuck them now if you'd like. And begin to inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3, and 4, and pause. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. You can exhale out through the nose as well, closing the lips. I'm just getting used to your breath here in this little bit of an uncomfortable position that's yet opening up our chest, opening up our armpits, giving ourselves a nice little stretch in these unnoticed areas. You might feel some sensations in your arms right now. Might want to adjust the chin. And so whatever signals your body is telling you, listen in, tune in. Beginning to discern what is a distraction and what is a value to pay attention to. Noticing if you want to move out of this pose because you're getting distracted, or if there is some sensations going on that you want to pause and still. Any sharp sensations you want to avoid. And going back to that breath, right? Getting that rhythm. So inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3, and 4, and holding it here. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly you can tuck the toes if you'd like for a little bit more support, and bring the hands closer and towards you so that perhaps the palms are resting right underneath the shoulders. And slowly push yourself up using the strength of your palms. Coming back back into a little bit of a tabletop. You might want to wheelbarrow your hips, moving them in circles forward and back to the side. Maybe reversing direction. Maybe getting your shoulders involved in this little bit of a dramatic action here. Come find me back in tabletop. And from where you are in tabletop, I want you to sit back in between your heels. So sit the hips in between the heels, and you can have the knees together almost as though they're touching, or you can bring them out depending on what you like. If you bring the knees out, you're opening your hips already. So find the knee position that feels most comfortable for you. And when you're ready, I want you to take your bolster and place it right behind you. So you want the end of the pillow or the blanket just to touch the tailbone. And keeping your legs where they are, place the palms behind you and walk them back, maybe bending the elbows one at a time until the forearm touches and you can relax fully against the pillow. And coming into a saddle position here. So notice those inhales and the exhales that you're taking right now. Making them smooth, cyclical, synchronizing them to the beat of your heart. This may be the one time of the day that you are actually taking a rest for yourself, so let's honor this moment that we can be with our bodies with no judgment, no shame, no anger. If those feelings are coming up for you, embrace them, work with them. Let's not deny or repress what is in us right now. We're all going through different parts, different stages of our journey, so I thank you for sharing your time with me right now. So as you inhale through the nose, feeling the chest lift, that heart lift, and as you exhale, let yourself fall back on that pillow, on that support. And if you'd like, you can also lift the arms overhead. You can have a soft bend in the elbows, maybe even gripping the opposite elbow with each palm. And stay here, getting that nice extra stretch. I'm just moving myself a little bit lower, so don't mind me. I had a practice before, so I'm a little bit warmed up right now. And if you'd like, you can come join me by removing the bolster, the blanket, if you'd like, if you have familiarity with saddle pose. But if you like the pillow and the pillow is your friend today, then stay on that pillow. The space on our mat. We're just trying to be a little bit better. Just trying to honor ourselves as humans and not give in to the perfectionist. Because in the grand scheme of things, we're all born divine. We're all worthy. We have value. And we deserve to rest. So if you find yourself getting distracted, tune in back to your breath. Again, inhaling through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4. Holding it here. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. One final breath. Inhale, taking the air to your lungs. expanding the rib cage, feeling the lower back lift away from the mat. And as you exhale, let everything fall, descend, return, remember. On your next inhale, you can release the elbows if you have them, placing the palms maybe on your heels or on the ground. I like to place my palms in the heels and then dig my elbows in and very gently lift myself up, one forearm at a time, making sure it's coming from my shoulders, from my core, rather than from the strength of my neck. All right, moving to one side. Coming out of that saddle position, you can extend the legs straight forward in front of you and just wiggle them out just a little bit. There we go. Saying hello. And then you can turn over, coming into a quick tabletop. Tuck the toes, lift the knees, and move back into our first down dog, upside down V shape. Pedaling out your heels. And inhale, right leg up, swoops up towards the sky. Exhale, right knee in towards the chest and step the right foot in between the hands. You can lower the back foot, walk the right foot out to the width of the mat and place the right hand inside of the right foot. So here we are in dragon pose. You can untuck the back foot if you'd like. Keeping the toes flexed against the earth gives you a little bit more stability. If your back knee is a little bit sensitive, you can always place a bolster or a blanket underneath it or roll up the mat as well, like so. And if this is heavy on your wrist as well, you can also take your blocks and place the palms on the bolster. Because you're still getting that external rotation in that front hip that we're working on, as well as an extension in the back hip here. Focusing, cultivating it, going inwards. So this is really the yoga practice. It's not what people can see. It's more what you can't see, and that's happening within. If you're feeling a lot here, I ask you to take whatever rest you need. And if this feels good, you can stay here. Sometimes you need a little bit more heat, and other days, you know, that's okay. We don't need it. And that's how you honor your body, and that's how you listen to your needs. It's really important that we listen and tune in and drop in, rather than try to force or dominate the body, which does so much for us. If you'd like, you can move the blocks away and come down onto your forearms. If you would like, I invite you to do what feels best for you today, what feels most honoring, most nourishing for your body. Again, taking those breaths. The calmer your breath is, the calmer your nervous system is, calmer your body feels in these funny shapes. And if you're down at the floor with me, we can do one last little stage here. So place the left palm out to the side. You can rest the left hip onto the floor, and then we're just going to rotate the rib cage and press our right hand lightly against that right thigh, just opening up, giving ourselves a little bit more of a external rotational push here. This is one of my favorite variations of lizard pose in vinyasa practice, and we can also be in this pose in a more yin-like manner. Just start to relax if you can. Instead of fighting these sensations, how can you work with them? All right, and And these are the practices that you can take off the mat. And that's also where the learning also happens. It's easy on a mat, but how can we apply what we learned here in real life situations? All right, slowly placing that right foot back on the mat. If it's kind of winged out a little bit, place the palms on the ground, returning to our starting position, and then just place the right palm on the outside of the right foot, and we're gonna scooch, almost heel toe the right foot over to the left side and come right into swan pose. And you can also pulse a little bit if that left hip is really rising from the mat. So just pulse back and forward. And then you can interlace your hands behind you and come into a little bit of a back bend in our swan position. It's okay if that front leg is perpendicular. You don't need to have it look like a square. You can tuck the heel closer in towards your groin if you'd like. Breathing here, slightly tucking the chin. Now we're really open posed here. We're really exposing our chest. So really breathe in and inhale, really fill the upper body with air, being really dramatic about it. And as you exhale, just let it go, soften, relax. At any time, I invite you to take a rest if you need, to readjust to what feels best for you. If you feel good, you can also close your eyes. Inhaling through the nose for 1, 2, 3, and 4, and hold it here. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly release the hands. So if you have them, you can tuck that back foot, press the palms down on the ground in front of that leg, lift the back kneecap, and press the palms away from the ground so that you can lift that right leg back. You can come into a down dog and just quickly pedal out the heels. Press, press, press. Pedaling it out. And inhale, left leg swoops up. And exhale, left knee in towards the chest. And step that left foot in between the hands. Lower the back knee. And again, you can heel toe the left foot out to the side. Coming into dragon. Again, every side is different too. So feeling it out, you might be able to go deeper, you might need a little less intensity. There's nothing wrong with either. We put too much morals and ethics around these words, but it is what it is. You know, how can we be truthful to ourselves on this practice, right? How can we show up for what our body really needs, not what we think the body needs? There's so many lessons that we can learn about ourselves when we're on our yoga mat, and that we can take off of our yoga mat as well. And it's also just a good time to stretch and chill out a little bit. You can come down onto your forearms, or you can stay where you'd like. And again, how can you work with your breath, work with your body? And if you're building up some heat, that's great. how can you be still and present with all these distractions by going in with your breath, one breath at a time, noticing that breath in and that breath out. Not holding our breath, not breathing in too fast, but steady, cool, calm, possessed of control and poise. And now if you'd like, you can also place that right palm outside of the mat to the side. You can lean that right hip against the mat and then just press the left palm lightly against the left thigh. Just giving ourselves one last little push of externally rotating our hips before we kind of bring everything back together. If you've been practicing along with me, you know that I love a good hip opening class. The safety of being open. One of the most valuable lessons from these types of poses. Slowly you can lift the left palm away from the left knee, left thigh, and slowly walk yourself back into that upright dragon position, that starting position. And then heel toe that left foot over to the right, lower that left leg, coming right into our swan pose. Interlacing the hands behind you. As you inhale, looking up, you're pressing that heart forward in front of you. You can look up slightly to the sky, to the ceiling if you'd like. Concentrating on you, concentrating on your body, all the wonderful things that you're doing right now, all the wonderful magic that you're creating. Inhaling through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, holding it at the top. Exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold it. And exhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. You can release the hands now if you had them bound. Tuck that back foot, tuck the back toes. Tuck the back toes, press the palms on the ground in front of that leg, lift the back kneecap, and press away from the ground. Lift that left leg behind you, coming into your down dog. Press, 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 pedal, pedal, pedal. And then come find me on the mat again, extending the legs out straight in front of you. Take the bolster, place it long on your legs. You don't need to flex your toes, relax them, let them do what they want to do. Inhale, open the arms out to the sides, arms overhead, and as you exhale, fold over the bolster, coming into our Paschimottanasana, kind of zipping up the hips together after we've opened them up. I like to have the bolster here because my hamstrings are often, they require a lot of warming up. And also it's just a little bit more comfortable to have that space kind of fold up if you'd like. So with each inhale, imagine yourself lengthening against the bolster. And exhale, simply fall forward just a little bit more. And you're letting the tension from your shoulders melt away. You're breathing in each air, expanding your lungs, expanding that chest, and as you let it go, just fall. Again, inhaling, lengthening the spine, imagining that you're doing that. And as you exhale, folding forward just a little bit more. And you're going to find that naturally with each inhale that you take and each exhale that you let go, you're going to find yourself maybe coming closer to that bolster, maybe even touching the forehead onto the bolster. And it's going to feel quite natural to you without having any pulling sensation in your hamstrings, any strains in the low back or in the neck, which is something we want to avoid. We want to avoid forcing ourselves into these shapes. And yin yoga is quite a powerful practice in making us realize that we don't need to force anything. We can just use our breath, and time will just do the rest. Focusing on our breath and letting time do the rest. Because with time, you'll find that you can get into these shapes quite easily. You didn't really need to force it. You didn't really need to hurt yourself to get there. And just find yourself there one day. And that's with a determination, commitment to have this practice. And that's why you're here playing this video, because you are driven and passionate about your practice. And so through this yoga class, I'm hoping that you remember who you are deep on the inside, a strong, confident, capable, wise person. I hope you're coming home to yourself, to your true self. And we'll take one last inhale through the nose for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And exhale for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly rolling up one vertebrae at a time until you become vertical. Your neck might coming up last. Ooh. How are you feeling after that? I love a good Paschimottanasana. All right, we're going to lie on the ground, getting ready for our banana asana. So inhale, lift the arms overhead, grab onto opposite elbows. Then twist your body, your upper body, over to the right side. Both shoulder blades firmly on the floor. And then bring the right leg over to the right side, and then cross the left ankle over. You might need to readjust. If you need to adjust at any time, do so. This is your practice. This is your body. And we will be here for a few minutes. Giving ourselves a nice little side stretch, a lengthening in the side body. So important for us not to neglect that area, that plane. Feels good to breathe in expansively, full-heartedly in this pose. At least I find that it is. Noticing if there's any wobbling, any tension, any shaking, any nerves calling your name. Noticing that and observing that. Being with it. Trying to figure out what you can learn from it. All right, slowly bring the elbows back to center, uncross the legs. Maybe placing the legs in center before then twisting the upper body over to the left side of the mat. Bring the left leg out and then cross the right ankle over the left. So just letting yourself feel into this pose. Any breath that you're holding in, just let it go right now. Sigh it out, breathe it out. You want to bring in, attract a new energy, calming, energizing fuel for us. We want to breathe in new energy, let go of that stale energy that doesn't serve us here. Maybe you notice that your lungs are stronger, that your breaths are stronger, more even and longer. Maybe you just notice that you haven't been distracted for about a second. Whatever it is, reflect on one little change that you've noticed about yourself. Giving yourself that grace, that permission to be full of joy, to be light. Slowly bring the elbows back to center, uncross the legs, and then we'll come right into our Shavasana. Arms, palms up towards the sky, toes out. Close your eyes or look up towards the ceiling, forward in front of you. Want to express thanks and gratitude for you being here, practicing, feeling into your body. And I hope to see you again soon.